Hello. I have Linux running on the laptop. I got Ubuntu 22.04, which is, of course, the final version. It's the long-term support version, which means Linux is finished, and they've fixed all the bugs on the bug list and implemented all the features, and everything's going to work now. So I've got that. But now it installs Clang 14 by default, and Clang 14 is grumpy about some of our code in a way that Clang 10 is not grumpy. It doesn't seem to know offset of which I don't know what the deal is with that. Yeah, I mean they said this is 22.04 long term, right? Long term means they're not going to change anything. I think it means that they've solved all the problems. It's finally the year of Linux on the desktop. It's finally here. What's the version number of Clang? 14.0.0.1 Ubuntu 1. I don't know if the one Ubuntu 1 is like putting horns on it, like we're so excited. This is the Clang version that came by default when I said apt install Clang, which is, it's obviously Clang is finished. Like if Linux is finished, then the Clang that comes on it has got to be finished, right? Right? I think that makes sense. Okay. So what do I do? Let me just like Clang offset of error. Oh, somebody already said not able to use offset of with Clang and C++ 14. Looks like a bug. This is from 2018. See, I wish I could just AirPlay my Ubuntu machine. I wonder if I can. Like if the fabulous Ubuntu works at all, there should be an AirPlay in the software center, right? Shouldn't there? Like why, if open source is so great, the trillion monkeys should have typed in an AirPlay implementation. So how do I even search? I can't tell. There's a search icon. Wow, they've really gone minimal with Ubuntu, with final Ubuntu. AirPlay. Home media server. VSSL agent. Two things. Okay, home media server. To other UPnP DLNA devices. I just want to share my desktop. I just want to broadcast my desktop over Wi-Fi. I want to show you guys maybe VNC. Wait, does VNC broadcast things now? What? Oh, I'm thinking VLC. Anyway, so we have this thing. We have AirPlay screen mirroring receiver, but I don't know if this does anything. Maybe AirPlay is so proprietary that it's not possible to implement it with a Turing machine on Linux. I'm going to install home media server. I don't know. This isn't going to help me with offset of. It's probably something to do with like macro substitution. Okay, I'm going to maybe try to delegate that. As soon as some more people show up, we'll play the T game as well. All right, did this permissions? It's got a permissions button. Okay, how do I run this? Home media server. The wine configuration is being updated. That doesn't make me feel good. Installation program. Home media server. Boy, it's just like a Windows experience where it pops up a thing and then it's installing for 30 seconds. Renderer list. Properties. Add property. Oh, this is the changelog. Device from list. DLNA device. Dune media player. How do I broadcast? To a PC. Apple TV AirPlay. Oh, dude. Let's see. AirPlay screen mirroring receiver. It's probably going to be too low res, but we'll try it. Wait, No, that's not the only AirPlay probably. AirPlayer. Maybe I can just custom device. Okay. Let's just try this without media resources files. I just want the desktop. Backups direct. I don't want back. What are you asking me about backups? Start. Wildlife in HD. It doesn't, it's talking to me about tables and cards. I don't know what any of that means. It doesn't seem to see my PC. Rip that experiment. Okay, we're not going to try to show you the Linux desktop for now. Let's play the T game, since we have all these valuable stream viewers. Okay, longtime viewers to the stream are familiar with TeaRunners, which sends us these fine packages of tea monthly. They send 4 every month with names like Nepali Breakfast and Blueberry Cinnamon Crumble. Now, because I have moved to a place that has a lot of cafes, I go out to coffee shops now, and I don't really necessarily make tea at home very much, as stream viewers have noticed. Now, the problem is the mail keeps showing up, and I have many months worth of TeaRunners that are not opened. In fact, I have this many. Okay. So I'm going to go through all of them and read the names of all of them, and we're going to try the scariest ones. All right. Now, you're going to have to take note of the ones that you like, because there's going to be like 30 here, all right? Take note of the ones that you like, and then I will do, after we're done naming all of them, I will do a pass where we then go through and vote for the most promising, okay? So here we go. We should maybe set up some kind of like ranked choice voting where you write a number down next to it and you add. That's going to be too complicated. Okay. Orange Jasmine Blossom. Citron Mint Black. Just write down names of ones that sound really good to you. Pomegranate Acai Yumberry. Blueberry Cinnamon Crumble. Nepali Breakfast. Mystic Mint. Tangerine Pear Green Tea. These are going to start sliding all over the place. Okay, that one's opened. We can't do that one. Golden Mao Fang. Caramel Apple Green. Valentine Blend. I sure missed that this year. English Breakfast. Evening in Missoula, which is where Leland says Maddie is going back to when he murders her. So we could have that experience. Snickerdoodle Roibus, which is the scariest one so far. Juniper Tonic. Earl Grey Lavender. Apple Cider Roibus. That one's been opened. Blue Mountain Black Tea. Blueberry Roibus. They sure like putting the flavors in the Roibus. Butterfly Mango Dragon Fruit White. All right. Jalinga Estate Assam. Yeah, some of these are like generated by Markov chain. Classic Laoshan Black Tea. Mistletoe. That must have been from December. Pacific Peppermint. I didn't know peppermint grew in the Pacific. Strawberry Peach Puer. Maghreb Mint. That one's opened. And the final unopened is Tangerine Pear Green Tea. Okay. Now, how do we do the next stage of these? Because we need people to say some teas, all right? Say some teas, and if I see some show up from multiple people, then I will pick those. Is Blue Mountain Black Tea the tea equivalent of the coffee? I don't know about the coffee. I don't drink coffee. Okay, I've seen multiple butterfly mangoes, so that's going to go. Butterfly mango. Snickerdoodle Roibus is going on the list. Golden Mouth Fang. No, it's Mao Fang. Let's find that one again to dispel. It's Mao Fang, F-E-N-G, right? Although if I could get a Mouth Fang tea. Yeah, no, it's this, guys. Tangerine Pear Green. Was that one of them? I don't even remember which one of these are real flavors. We'll put the Mao Fang on because it's a big part of discussion. And we'll do multiple votes, by the way. So was there a caramel apple green? What is going on? There's so many teas here, guys. I don't fucking... Yeah, there is a caramel apple green. All right, that's going on the list. These are really scary teas. All right, we're going to do 5. Create poll. Okay. Here we go. You may vote. Let me get out the ones that are on there. So, Snickerdoodle Roibos, Butterfly Mango Dragon Fruit White. Hold on. I need to edit it. Edit. Because it's Butterfly Mango Dragon Fruit White. We have to put the whole name in there. Okay, Butterfly Mango, Snickerdoodle Roibos, Tangerine Pear Green, Golden Mouth Fang, and Caramel Apple Green. These are ridiculous teas, guys. Oh my God. Okay, I'll let it go for a few minutes. I didn't set a timer on it. I don't know how to do that, but we'll let it go for a couple minutes. This is democracy in action. Do not believe misinformation about the tea flavors. Misinformation is now regulated by a government department. Okay? You must not believe misinformation about the teas. You must pick the correct one. Dude, the butterfly mango dragon fruit white is a Bai Mudan. I like Bai Mudan. I don't know how it'll be with all the other stuff in it, but Bai Mudan is one of my favorite teas. Let's run a short. Let's run a short informational video about misinformation. All right.
Everything okay, brother?
Yep. Hopefully there's no bad words in this. I don't remember. There probably are. I hope you're not 12 years old. All right, let's learn about disinformation and the government's new efforts to regulate disinformation.
Everything okay, brother?
Yeah, just make sure there's no misinformation that is distributed, though. Yeah, I'm the newest member of the Disinformation Governance Board. Just making sure there's no one spreading any misinformation around here. Well, not on my watch, that's all I'm saying. Tough job, because what's true changes quite frequently. Hey, the Steele dossier, is that still disinformation? I can't remember. Truth is a tricky thing. It's like hitting a moving target. Board sort of just make sure that no one's an enemy of the truth.
For the government.
Yeah, for the government, yeah.
What ideas? What the problem?
Anyone in your family you want to report, anything like that. Disinformation is the #1 problem that plagues our society and needs to be stopped. Hey, buddy! You know, sometimes things that were disinformation now prove to be true, and this isn't something that you simpletons can understand. Hard job, but someone's got to do it. Take COVID, for example. Sometimes it's disinformation that masks do work, then it's disinformation that they don't work. Sometimes it's disinformation that the hospital numbers were inflated, then it turns out that they were. Paddy wagon, where we put any dissenters, not going to apologize for keeping people safe. It definitely wasn't a lab leak, then maybe it was a lab leak. I was a normal citizen supposed to keep track of the fact that Hunter Biden's laptop was disinformation, then it wasn't disinformation, without people like us. Have you guys had any problem with disinformation over there? Or
disinformation?
anyone spreading it? That we just pop in there, take care of it?
Yeah, there's tons of different disinformation all over. I mean,
A buddy of mine said there might be a bit of a disinformation problem over here. Do you mind if I just look through some of the books and make sure?
Yeah. Well, we're information. We're not disinformation.
I think I'll be the judge of that, if you don't mind. Is that cool?
Read the Bhagavad Gita. That's
Peruse that?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. I'm just making sure, you know what I mean?
Making sure.
If it's all true, then you guys have nothing to worry about.
I think we don't have anything to worry about.
All right, well, then I guess it shouldn't be a problem for me to peruse all the materials. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I lose sleep thinking about all the fucking disinformation out there. Okay, this is probably a stupid question, but what about the people we kicked off social media when it was disinformation? Are we letting them back on? Okay, yeah, no, I didn't think so. I just wanted to double check. This is sort of a warning to disinformation too. You even come near me, we're gonna have a problem, pal. But sometimes we get it wrong, and there maybe wasn't weapons of mass destruction. But when the citizens get it wrong, the ramifications are much, much higher. Bet you didn't know this, Walter Durante won a Pulitzer Prize for what's now turned out to be disinformation. Hard to keep up, that's why you need us. This is where every person who posts disinformation belongs. Garbage bin. People are like kids out there, you know? Why? 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 Because we said so, that's why. Is this your guys' booth? Are you saying the moon landings are fake?
yes, sir.
All right, so I'm arrested. You're arresting me?
But don't you think that's a little dangerous, telling people the moon landing didn't happen?
It's no more dangerous than me saying that the masks don't work and vaccines don't work, right?
Okay.
Is that dangerous too?
Yeah, actually, it kind of is.
All right, so listen, you are a Nazi. Do you know that? If you think it is, you are a Nazi. I started
Not a Nazi.
I started studying this country and its politics and its history in 1976. And I'm telling you, you are a Nazi, okay?
I'm not a Nazi.
Okay.
You guys are friggin' Nazis. Hi, Mom. Yeah, I just need someone to talk to. I'm just at work right now, and then someone called me a Nazi for doing my job. The guy's like a disinformation addict. Well, I guess I'm gonna be having the last laugh because I've just alerted the board, and unfortunately, actions have consequences. I don't know if you saw this, but there's this guy over there. We have footage of him too, but he's basically like spreading all these lies and disinformation over the other side of the park.
All right, cool. Thank you. Just like post it up.
Yeah, posted up. He's like saying that COVID vaccines don't work and all this sort of stuff like that. We actually have footage of him, so if you need that for your investigation, we can.
All right, I appreciate it.
Okay. I tell you, pal, if I had $1 for every piece of disinformation, I'd use that money to stop disinformation. That's a promise.
Everyone has the disinformation that they are their bodies, when that's just like wearing an outfit. You're actually a soul.
We're fine with that disinformation, but we're obviously talking about like
Like Russian.
the bad and the bad type of disinformation. If people want to think that their souls are the wrong souls or whatever, they're allowed to do that. And not all disinformation is equal. If you're into conspiracies about aliens, be my guest. But if the conspiracies start to involve the government, we're gonna have a little bit of a word with you.
All right, there you go. Now you know all about the Disinformation Governance Board. Let's take a look at the T results. And, well, it looks to me like I get to drink something that might actually be good. Butterfly mango dragon fruit white. So let me go get the water. I should have done that during the video, but I wanted to watch the video again because it's very educational and I need educational. All right, back in a minute. Oh, wait. I actually have water. Never mind. Butterfly mango dragon fruit white tea. 185 degrees. 3 to 4 minute steep. All right, let's start it up. I do have to get a cup, but I will start the water. I'm also going to sign up for the snack. So Casey got me a 3-month snack subscription. This is not an ad, but this is really good. And it ran out, so I want a 12-month plan. Build every 12 months. All right. It just comes with all these really good... Wait, why is my cart empty? 12-month. Get it. Okay, now my cart has a thing in it. That's exactly the same thing I clicked before. But sometimes it clicks and sometimes... Okay, hold on. We gotta deal with the T. But like, seriously, guys, when people say all defensively that computers work fine and there isn't a problem and I'm making a big deal out of nothing, like, how do you explain that like literally everything doesn't 100% work? And like simple shit like that should just work. It just like, it didn't, there wasn't a thing in my cart, even though I added the thing to my cart. Like what, how do people, oh, this smells interesting. So there are actually chunks of dragon fruit in there. It's not like some wussy dragon fruit flavor. It's got chunks in it. I clicked harder the second time. What snack subscription? Here's the BOKKSU. I don't want to dox myself, so I will take this off the screen again, but payment due $479. It's okay, I will do it because the snacks are very interesting. Please enter. Okay, it doesn't like my email address because my email address has a dash in it. No, that's not it. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know what its major malfunction is. Missing date. Okay, this web form is fucking... All right. Okay. Typing in my credit card info. Place my order. We're just waiting for the tea to steep here. Yes. Okay. I got $500 of Japanese snacks. Is the dragon fruit white? Yeah, let me dig it out for you here. Actually, I don't see that many more chunks. I mean, it sort of looked like little chunks of tofu. Maybe it's a tofu tea. All right, it's been 3 minutes, right? Dude. It's a blue tea. Hold on. The butterfly part is butterfly tea from Cambodia, which I had when I was at Angkor Wat, and also, oh, I might have steeped it too much, but I'm pouring it into a glass right now, so you can see. And pour the rest before it oversteeps. It looks a little strong, but we're gonna see. So this is what it looks like. So I think we picked a good one. Romulan ale. What does it taste like? I actually should have steeped it more. We'll do a second steeping that goes stronger. I mean, I definitely taste the white tea base. The flavoring is pretty strong. It does taste like butterfly tea. The dragon fruit part, I guess I can taste that too. I actually think it's a good tea, actually. I was scared because the number of words in the name of the tea was very scary. Because that usually means like weird flavoring, like snickerdoodle, caramel apple, Oompa Loompa chocolate crunch white tea would probably be pretty bad, right? But in this case, it's all like natural ingredients. It's like Baimudan, butterfly tea leaves, and it's not really tea. Butterfly leaves, they're like an herbal thing. And dragon fruit. And it's a really good combo. I like this. I would buy this separately. What is butterfly tea? Look it up. So it comes from Cambodia, I believe, originally. And it's these flowers. And the blue is actually natural. You would think that this is food coloring or something, but it's actually the tea. I haven't seen the purple before. I wonder about that. I wonder if that's just someone's camera being wacky. Or maybe that's what happens when you mix something else in it. It's like a home chemistry set when you're a kid. But no, it's really good. Like, I'm sure you can get lots of different ones off Amazon. I feel like butterfly tea became popular in the last year because I never saw it before, except in Cambodia. But like, now there's a coffee shop near me here in Florida that has one. Like, if I search butterfly tea on Amazon, yeah. Dried butterfly pea flower. It sounds like dried butterflies. No, but yeah. And it's nice. I mean, I think the flavor is kind of weak unless it's combined with something else, which is maybe why this tea is pretty good. What made me go from tea noob to connoisseur? I've just been drinking a lot of tea for a long time, and I'm not snooty about it, but I've drunk enough things that I know what I like and stuff. It's worth it to upgrade from basic tea bags. Yeah, so tea bags are just not that good compared to loose leaf tea. Like the flavors are better. If you get a fresh, good loose leaf tea, the flavors are just really good. Tea bags, especially like, you know, if I go to Whole Foods and buy stuff in tea bags, it's just it's kind of dry and bland. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Usually, sometimes they're good, but usually not. Like even with teas that specific brands of tea that I like. So the hot cinnamon spice tea that I've sung the praises of on this stream before, they sell a version that's loose leaf and they sell a version that's bagged. And the version that's bagged is just total weak sauce for me. I just don't like it that much, but the loose leaf version is great. It's my favorite tea still, probably. Teabagging is not good. Well, they liked it in Pecker. You always find fruit tea and always ends up smelling way better than it tastes. I don't like fruit teas mostly. This one's pretty good. But most fruit teas are like, I just don't like that fruity flavor in tea. It's like overwhelming to me and kind of gross. So I don't usually drink fruity teas. There are rare exceptions, but I think the more you steep them, the more strongly fruity they get and the more I don't like them. Yeah, this is about as fruity as I like any tea to be. And it's kind of fruity, but it just works for this combo works for me. So thank you, voters. Thank you, voters, for picking a good tea. We might do another one later, or we'll probably re-steep this one first because it's good. Do I know anyone more into tea than me? I mean, I know people who own tea shops and stuff. Is there a problem with leaving the tea bag in longer than the recommended time? I mean, I usually steep things more than recommended, but if you leave it in too long, so it depends on how much tea is in there, but you can easily get something too strong. With one tea bag, it probably may not get too strong, but if you steep tea leaves too long, they get kind of bitter and nasty. So it's not like you just get more flavor. Well, you do, but you get like bad flavor after a while. So I do not recommend steeping tea forever. But this also varies depending on what type of thing it is as well. Don't press down on tea leaves or fruit to extract the water out more. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I honestly don't know that much about teas because, you know, I find the ones that I like and I stick with those. It's not like I know all the things. Am I buying the dip? Okay, so I was looking at Palantir stock right now, which is at the bottom of a massive, massive dip. But I was like, you know what? I think we have a much bigger dip still happening. So, or I don't know, but I think there's a probability of a much bigger dip in the whole market. So I'm staying out of it still. But you know, I don't do stocks seriously. It's just like a way to play around for me. I have made a lot of money playing around. Lucky, I guess, or something. But I don't, you know, don't do stocks seriously, right? Because to do it competently in a serious way, you have to like, it has to be one of the major things you do with your time and attention. And there's better things to spend your time and attention on. But I took it up a while ago as a side thing to just like, I maybe buy a stock once every 6 months. And I actually have no stocks right now. Fortunately, I sold, what was the last thing? Like last year when the whole AMC thing broke, I heard about it a little bit early and bought some AMC. And then that was down for a long time. And when it was up 20% from what I bought it, I sold it and then it like doubled. So whatever, but I made 20% off AMC. But then, I mean, before that I had Tesla for a long time. I feel like there was something after AMC. Oh, Coinbase. I made a bunch off Coinbase too. Like I happened to time Coinbase. I bought it at the exact right low and I sold it at the exact right high. Did I ever buy Tesla? Yes, I bought Tesla when it was $15 a share. But then I had to sell it to finish the witness, and then I bought more later, and then I sold it again. I made a bunch off Tesla, but not nearly as much as I could have if I rode it all the way up. That's $15 a share pre-split, by the way. Like, I think it was a 4-to-1 split, so the current stock price is like about $3,000 a share or something, right? For an original share. Might be a good time to buy Coinbase again. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I think crypto coins are going to mostly explode for a while because people are realizing they're not fucking good for anything. So I expect a long, slow implosion in that market. Coinbase is down to 83. Really? Dude, I sold Coinbase at 250. I bought it at like 190 and I sold it at 250. So I'm glad I didn't hold. Yeah, it went above, like it went up to like 400. Or no. So when I bought and sold it, I didn't ever do anything back here at the peak, but like I bought it like, I don't know when it was. When was it? I think I bought it here. No, I bought it when it was like 200 sometime. And I sold it 250, but that's not, maybe I'd have to zoom into this graph to see. Anyway, glad I sold it 250 because like, holy cow, 80. But I think this is going to keep going. Like what are crypto coins good for besides making jokes about? What is my opinion on remotely working? I mean, it's the world that we're stuck in now, but it makes all companies less efficient and less good. Should have got some GME. No, I mean, back when I was going to, so the GME and the AMC thing popped off at around the same time. And I was like, okay, if there's a lot of market manipulation to force things from going up, they're going to focus on the biggest one, which is GME. So that's why I bought AMC. I was like, this is the second one, so it'll face less resistance. And that worked out. I don't know if I would have made anything off GME. Is there any crypto that has a decent gas and transaction speed guaranteed every time? I don't know, but even if there was, would it still be good for anything? I mean, Ethereum, maybe when ETH 2 happens, it'll be worth something more than it is, but I don't know. Brian Armstrong seems like a proper CEO. Yeah, he seems smart. Do I consider life a game? It's hard to say. Hard to say, guys. You know what? How about if we program some now? And then we'll re-up the tea in a little bit. $52-minute intro, yeah. Yeah, all right. Look at all the work that has happened. So, did my machine reboot? Frickin' Windows, dude. Or did it? I think I would have noticed. Where are we? We are in here, examples, codex view. Source, draw metrics. I have a little to-do list here. Let me just put this in the main. So maybe I should make the window more resizable, because so far, like when we create a window, I'll show you guys. When we run the thing, I don't know why it pops it under. That's like so. Oh no. Okay, so something broke. So I ran this on my laptop and I'm like, we have to debug this. What did I do? Oh, let's rebuild it just in case. But I'm pretty sure it's up to date. Why did I run the debug compiler? It's taking so long. All right. So I don't think this is going to work still. So that's what we got to do, because if we're going to deliver this value to the people, it must... Where's examples? Examples? So these are from last night during the stream. Yeah, so we're not displaying anything. Like, and the scroll bar isn't going down at all, which means we're literally displaying 0 things. Why? Metric, include modules. So the sorts aren't doing anything. I hope this is just a dumb bug. Let's find out. Codex view. Okay, let's break in the load function. Modules. Codex. Thanks to whoever suggested that name. Read and... Oh, you know, I did add some checking on magic numbers and stuff. But we should return false and reject the file in that case. Make help from memory. All right, so we're going to go there. And let's go codex view, because that's a smaller file. Okay, make help. Header.magic. That looks like the right magic number. And the right version. The time generated is really not correct. Okay, that's scaring me. Because we added Apollo time. I thought we added that last night and then regenerated, but we might not have. Okay, and then these are all invalid. I think these might be old files. So the thing is, guys, I've been a little bit sloppy because I changed things in the files and I'm not bumping the version number, but that's because nobody else in the world is using these files yet. So it's fine for me to do this, but it's going to generate a little bit of confusion at times like this. All right, so hold on. Let's do release compiler. Let me just make absolutely sure that that's up to date. Probably isn't. Not hunting for the elusive Heisenberg. I should, but I kind of wanted to close the chapter on the codex view just so I can work on other things. Like this has to work or it doesn't do anything, right? Okay, so we're gonna plug codex. Okay, that time generated looks much better. All right, so we're gonna go move star.codex run codex view.codex. Yes, overwrite it, please. All right, so now we're not gonna do debugger because I'm pretty convinced those were old files. I swear I thought last night to regenerate them, but then maybe because it was late and I was tired, we didn't do that. Why is this tonight at 9? What? Why is that modified? All right, so we got a thing. Check it out. Beautiful. Now note that there's no resize handle on the window. We could enlarge it, but the consequence of no resize handle is the aspect ratio is also fixed. So what I want to do is I want to make it so you can resize this, and then, you know, the right thing will happen, which is this data will stretch out, right? Random italic letters in the console. Dude, this console is so nutty, I just don't even know why it does what it does. Okay, let's regenerate the SOCL bands. Hold on. Primary sort none, secondary sort metric. Ah, look at that. It's like I'm playing desert golfing. Okay, let's generate the Sokoban. You know what? I could have left that running. All right. Come on. Okay, Sokoban. Boom, look at that. Look at all that Sokoban. Secondary sort. by metric. I mean, there's probably a way to get some information out of this that's useful in some way. It looks like an Atari 2600 with better color palette. When it's a blend metric, what I really should do is draw all the blend information. That's another thing. Okay, so let's draw individual metrics when blend. Resizable window. Settings screen. And then there's other weird stuff like here, like I'm on the drop down, but we're in the rectangle. So we should be able to just ask getRect if there's a widget under the cursor and not do a selection if there is, right? Okay. All right, I'm going to make some more tea, though. I also ordered a fresh golden monkey so I can compare to what I have to see if it dried out or something. Any questions about what we're looking at or what we're doing? Any questions? So how do we use this? Let's see if that's been fixed. No. What? I see. Well, hold on. Where is window type defined? So you got to be willing to clean up little things like this once in a while. Window type. It's in window type. Oh, well. Yeah, that doesn't work still, huh? supposed to work. If we import in a scope export, that's supposed to work. All right, we'll leave it for now. It's a relatively minor in the grand scheme of things. Okay. Why isn't it? I guess it's almost done. I'm like, where's the tea water? Okay. So create a window. Why isn't it resizable? Did we just literally never make a resizable window ever in this programming language? Okay, I didn't press the right button on the T thing. It's quite possible. Hey, look, Stack Overflow. Do they like pay to be the top hit? Like, why is Stack Overflow the top hit? Why is like MSDN not the top hit? How do I disable resizing? Create get module handle, blah, 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 blah. WS thick frame. Should we just make flags that people can use? To specify, like, if there's a close box and all this stuff? I kind of don't want to think about that right now, but... Okay, wait. What is this secondary? That's really weird. Okay. Not sure I like that. I do like this tea, so we're pouring another one. Boom, bada bing. All right. It's like, so flags for like, does your window, is it resizable? Does it have a close box, right? Like all this bullshit that's just a translation layer for all the other operating systems. Like, on the one hand, I don't like that kind of thing. On the other hand, what else are you going to do in a case like this, aside from force everybody to use everything? You know? How is the profile information generated? Sorry, I missed the question. It's a plugin for our metaprogram, so you can write code that generates profile information if you want. This is just a thing that I wrote that does this thing. Could be an optional thing. Yeah, I mean, you could ignore the flags for sure. Let's try it out. But I thought WS overlapped window was supposed to have. What is the definition of WS overlapped window? Overlapped caption sys menu thick frame, THICC. The window has a sizing border, same as WS size box. So like we're not using this somehow. Maybe this thing is having a cow. Let's see. Well, I didn't really want to do the plug part, but so I definitely cannot resize this window. Let's look at what we're actually doing to create it. Create window. Width, height, name. So we do not, since this is, so we do not pass an X, a Y, a parent, a background color. Can you resize the example simp program? I kind of doubt it. Let's see. Like, I kind of don't really remember. Let's just recompile it just to make sure. Yeah, there's no... Oh, wait, you can. Oh, no, because I remember testing this to make sure it works. I did this on stream. So what? Now this doesn't have THICC frame, but it's resizable. So what's the difference? Why is this one not resizable? In fact, I think the getRect example no, that one's not oh, and we copied from the getRect example to start. So are we doing anything else? Oh, we're doing the drag except. What if we don't do that? I doubt that'll do anything. Yeah, that doesn't. that doesn't matter. So what is the difference? Dear Simp, why do you work It's like literally the same resize handler code. It's like literally the same code. Maybe getrect does something. Maybe it's not the window creation code. I'm starting to get a little bit tired. I'm going to force some of the tea, but I'm going to let the rest steep a little more because it's the second steeping, and actually we were a little weak last time. Side effect of get dimensions? I really don't know. What if we just do... I mean... What if we don't do any getrect stuff? I'm going to comment out literally everything. I'm going to put this loop, and I'm just going to delete all these things. Okay. And then we can add things back if we want. Like that's, I don't think does any getrect stuff. Okay. Well, it's not, oh, but we can resize. It's weird that the cursor is not responding. There's like a simp per frame update that we might not be doing. Hold on. Maybe not. Is it the cursor change? I mean, let's just, you know what? Okay, let's put init codex back in. See what that does. Still can resize. Maybe I could before and the cursor just wasn't changing. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm not going crazy. Dang it, dude. So... Nope, nope, rebuild, please. Okay, now I'll pour the rest of the tea. I don't want it to get nasty. An 11-minute steep. Hell yeah. I got a lot of blue butterfly now. Okay. Yeah, it just doesn't resize. Oh, it does resize. Wait. But only horizontally? I have to hit exactly the right pixel. Okay, wait. So get rect example. Oh, because get rect. Yeah, get rect is changing the cursor based on all this stuff. We're overriding whatever happens here by changing the cursor every frame. So we only want to do that if we're in the frickin' window. Or maybe we just... Let's just look at that code. It's going to be in... Get rect set pointer image. Oh. So slidable region and sub window. Slidable region sets it literally every frame. No. Let's just see what's happening. You know what? We can run... We don't have to run the get rect example. We can run this, right? Except this doesn't have those widgets. So that's weird. Okay, let's get the widgets up anyway. And then... get rect set pointer image. Okay, it claims it's not doing it. So it must be something about the fact that we set the cursor at the start. Uh-oh, I have a memory leak. Yeah, that looks bad. Let's, okay. So we're going to want to debug that as well. Unless it's something that I just commented out, right? Let me go back so we don't get too many levels deep here. No, this looks fine. Well, who frickin' knows? Let's debug the memory leak. And then we'll come back. We could use... Can we do this with a plugin yet? I don't think so. But we can do it, can do it from here. What's it called? Memory debugger equals true. I haven't used this in a little bit. So let's see what happens. All right, so we're just going to use it for a little bit. In theory, everything is being memory debugged. We can't see it run away in Visual Studio, but like, hopefully it is. Oh, you know what? I might be calling exit instead of return. Oh, no. Yeah, hang on. Hang on. This is something I didn't think about when I wrote this. Because it hooks it into the end of your main, but if you don't go back to main, you got problemos. Quit equals true. While not quit. No, that should have worked. Does memory debugger... Oh, memory debugger doesn't actually instrument. I've been working on the profiler for so long. Hold on. Okay, so the way you do it is you put at the end report memory leaks. This is the super lazy bones way. You could just do that, I think, right? This is what happens when I haven't even used my own stuff in a while. Okay, so we got memory going. It's going. Who knows what's even happening? It's just going, right? Okay, close. Okay, memory leaks. Maybe I should have piped that through more because it goes biggest first. All right, let's try it again. To leaks.txt. All right, boom. Boom. $167 megabytes. Okay, that's just we didn't free that file after we loaded it. Oh no, that's not a leak because we actually read shit out of the file. But I think we don't actually ever free that. Try load file. Where is this defined? It's in load. modules, codex load, read, it's called read. Yeah, so if help dot header dinit help dot header is null. All right. So that'll make us not leak that. That'll still show up in the leak report, but it's not really a leak because we're just keeping the file around every time. Although, why is that 208 allocations? Guys, are we reading the fucking file? Oh shit, guys. Do you see what's wrong? We have this dropped file arrays. When you drag and drop, it puts a file there. We're reloading the file every frame. Now, if we were a smart web developer and we were using JSON, it would take like 5 seconds to load 167 megabyte JSON. So we would notice that we were doing that every frame. But because we are fast game programmers, we don't even fucking break a sweat loading a 167 megabyte file. So we are literally doing that every frame. Okay, easy fix, dropped files, array reset dropped files, right? Yeah. All right. Let's run from Visual Studio so that we have confirmation. Whoops. Codex. All right. So there's probably still maybe some kind of a leak maybe, but it'll be much smaller. Yeah, look, there's maybe that line is going up, but the slope is much mellow. Well, okay, we weren't doing it. Okay, so that's where we load the file. But you'll note it doesn't look like it looked before, right? In fact, look, we just got rid of a page of something. See, easy clap. People say memory leaks are scary. They're not really. I mean, there are cases in which they're scary, but like, we don't spend most of our time during development worrying about memory leaks. Okay, when people ask you how fast this programming language is, you can say, oh my God, he was loading a 167 megabyte file every frame and didn't even notice. You can tell people that. You can say, I was there on the day back when the codex view was a wee tiny little program. It was loading 167 megabytes every frame, and we didn't even fucking notice. Yeah, good spot, by the way. That was useful. Okay. So we still, we could look at leaks again. I don't want to rat hole over leaks, but we can refresh our leaks.txt and see what it says. All right, I'm running. Actually, no, that 167 meg, that's an exaggeration. Because the 167 megabytes is from 200 frames, so it's only an 800K. Sorry, I lied. We are loading an 800K file every frame. Not quite as impressive. Sag. But, you know, that's how rumors are, is they exaggerate and they spread over time. So you can exaggerate. All right. So yeah, this is not really a leak. This is like a font page that's supposed to stay resident. This is not a leak. That's our file. And you can actually mark things as not being a leak in the thing, but I don't want to do that right now. This is reading a font file. This is just the array of all the procedures in Sokoban. Yeah, so these things are all fine. This is another font file. This is something in... Oh, that's the simp default font, probably. Yeah, no. So we're good for now. You know, later we'll look at these like maybe potentially small leaks or whatever, but most of these are not actual leaks. Fact check, mostly false. Okay. So what about the window resizing, people? What about the window resizing? What? So we know it's something in getRect. Is it... Actually, let's go to... If we just comment this out, then let's take out the but yeah, that's all you have to do. So to scan in this language, to scan for memory leaks, all you do right now is you import basic with this parameter, memory debugger is true, and then you call report memory leaks at the end. Or during the program. You can report it as many times as you want, right? Statements in block after return, that's intentional. So, you know, my goal is to make it very easy to do these things that in other systems have a lot of friction. All right. Sokoban.codex. So we still don't have a frickin' resize cursor. So that's like not it. I really was sus that that was it, but it's not it. What else do we think? What do we do in getRect? Every frame. UI per frame update. We get the mouse pointer position. I don't know. What if we just return here? I mean, obviously getRect ain't gonna work, but yeah, so here our cursor doesn't change. I just got lucky that time. Okay, so like, oh, this is complaining. This is our built-in getRect help about if you're using the API wrong. That's fine. Okay, so this wasn't it. Nothing in there. Maybe it's scissoring somehow. I literally don't know. Do I ever design new witness puzzles just for fun? No. I worked on that game for so long that, I mean, there's definitely more I could do, but look at me. I'm here trying to figure out why get wrecked messes with the cursor when I have all these other things to do. You know what? I'm going to try to delegate this one. And I think we're going to deliver value to the people. Does that sound good? I think we don't really need this one to ship the beta. Okay, so what happened in atomics? That's a revert. That was a test. And then that is a no bagger. These are both. Okay. Cool. Cool. And then so now our build machine is currently still down. So I'm going to manually make the Windows build. Let me check the status here, but I bet it's not up. That is something I will deal with tomorrow. Okay. So, version 23 on the 9th of May, 2022. Gonna close this. I'm gonna make a note that I need to either figure out or have someone figure out okay. Gonna open up a St. Pete office. There's no short-term plan for that, but we'll see. Does the window resize now? No. I mean, it can be resized, but it's very tweaky. We're just gonna deliver, like, my executive decision right now is rather than go really late on this tonight, we're gonna deliver all this massive value to the people. Look at all this value. We're going to deliver that to the people. How much is it in USD? Unfortunately, our value is orthogonal currently to USD value, so it is 0 USD or it's infinity USD. We don't know. I would like infinity USD for all this work, but currently we have 0 USD. In fact, we have massively negative USD for all this work, because if I were to pay myself for all these hours, And for all the salaries of people we've paid to work on this, it would be a pretty large number. Okay. And there's no business plan, by the way. We're just doing this for the people. I have no idea how we're ever going to make back the money we've spent on this. But that is not why we're doing it. All right, so I'm updating on the command line Linux. And I'm going to CMake it. Will our economic situation force us to release a game at some point? Yeah, I mean, we pretty much have to ship stuff before too long. Can't go forever without doing that. Fortunately, we have some badass things lined up. They just will take a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, you know, if we don't ship games, we don't exist. So, gotta ship some games. All right, so is my heart more inclined toward this, or are they even? None of the above. I do spend a lot of time working on the compiler, but it's sort of because, like, if I had enough other people who could work on the compiler, and I felt confident that it would get done to the degree that is okay, then I would let that happen. The problem is we don't have that yet. And the thing is, so when we make a game engine right now, right, we're just making it to make the game. And I can kind of direct the game and make sure it ends up good, right? And that's what I care about. With the compiler, it's much more granular. Like, every module that we ship to people should be good and should uphold the mission of the thing. It's much more internal, and like, the compiler is hard to work on, and I don't know anyone yet who could take over the internals of the compiler and like replace me and still do the same quality job. So that's a problem that I have to solve over time, obviously. But like, we just don't have that quite that same problem with everything else, even on design. I would have told you a couple years ago that I had to do all the design of the game, but Zach does a very good job on design. And he doesn't do quite exactly the same things that I would do, but he does very high quality things. And so it's like the pressure is off there. Like, I don't have to do that. But I don't have that kind of pressure relief on the compiler itself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Now, okay, sorry, I lost, because of the explanation, I lost place of where I was. We ran the x64 tests. Everything looks good, though. So I'm checking in the Linux binary. Okay, now I've got to go. I made some changes to like what's in the distribution. Make sure codex view is in there. Yes, it is. This is a little bit weird. We have these paths hard coded, and on this machine it's in D. I don't know if I should like auto detect that or what the hell. Like, I don't want to resort to like you having an external config file that tells the people. I don't know. Maybe it's a command line option. All right, cd. But this is another thing that I've been very happy about, because one of my goals was this programming language should be high enough level that I could take the kind of stuff that I used to write in Perl or whatever the hell and just write it here and it should be better. And that came out true. Like, this does the kind of thing I would have traditionally used a Perl script for, and it's just better. All right. You think Carmack is overrated? I think that's false. It's false. Literally nobody in the world could have done what he did when he did it. Probably. Okay, hold on. This was bad because that's the last build. Because so we check for if the builds don't match between Linux and Windows, then we error here. But they match, but they're both old because A, I didn't update this to get the Linux build, and B, like I said, the Windows build is not being built by the build machine. So I have to go copy it manually from here. Okay. So now let's do that again. People that understand what he did probably underappreciate him. Yeah, probably. He receives much adulation from people who don't understand what he did technically. Well, that's almost certainly true, yes. I mean, I do think as he later on went and did rockets and stuff, he was just maybe less focused on the same thing, right? But, I mean, you don't... When somebody's the best programmer in their industry and possibly the world, you just can't... You can't say anything bad about that. Like if there was a better programmer than John Carmack in the world at that time, they were working somewhere in secret or something and nobody knew who they were. Duke Nukem wasn't far off. Debatable. I mean, that's sort of true in the beginning, but like, it just didn't sustain. Like build engine didn't sustain, right? Would I like to do the Lex Friedman podcast? I don't know. Like when it comes to podcasts or whatever, it's just, if someone is interested in talking to about the kind of stuff that I talk about, then cool, right? Like for me, it's not about a specific podcast because yeah. Tons of equally skilled programmers out there that just don't get the attention. I mean, I don't know. Like, I, to this day, don't know if I know anyone on par with Pete Carmack. And I've been in the games industry a long time. There are people who are close. I mean, I probably get close a lot of times these days. But, like, I get close now, sometimes, to what he was in his 20s. And I have a couple decades more experience. So, like, you just can't say anything bad about that. All right. We have the right version of the compiler. Like, I do think I would have been much better than I was earlier than I was if I had had better connections earlier on in life. Because there were like several years, like 5-6 years in high school and college that were just kind of wasted for me, potential wise. But, you know, that's the luck of the draw. I also got probably introductions to computers earlier than other people did. It is what it is. All right. So, well, I think it's time to go into high security mode and I deliver the value to the people. Wait, what happened? Why is beta 22 not on the thing? Anyway, upload. Upload this file, please. The upload takes 10 seconds. I mean, the Carmack interview on Joe Rogan podcast was pretty cool, I thought. I go to the email. I compose. Okay, I got sidetracked. I had to answer an email. I'm going to compose to the beta people. 152 people. Subject, new compiler beta. Link. Change log. Value for the people. Damn, look at all that value. All right. $152 beta users. We will now come out of high security mode. We will add a new changelog entry, and it's Miller time for now. You remember Joe not really know anything about games? I mean, he supposedly played tons of Quake and all that. Another value to the people. Yes. Yes. Chat is also full of people saying John Carmack was not that good of a programmer. So it's been that kind of a night. Do I drink beer? No. No second tea poll. I mean, it's kind of too late to drink a lot more tea. So I think we're going to re-poll the tea several times because I think we can get a lot of mileage out of this gimmick. Do I think runtime data structure reorganization can be useful? Not really. If you're talking about a general programming language, no. If you're talking about a database, we already have that. It's called, schema rewrite or whatever it's called. So like, we know what that is. We know what runtime data structure reorganization is. So what are you up to these days, George? Oh, somebody leaked Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. Anyway, this has been good. We delivered some value to the people. There is more value in the future that should be delivered, but we got some. We also saw a good educational video about misinformation and how dangerous it is. So that's great. Hidden object game time? Probably not. I mean, I think I got what I'm going to get out of that hidden object game, and I'm just at the point where I'm very annoyed by all the F2P stuff that's so over the top. So I don't think I can play it anymore, but link the misinformation video. Why, I'm glad you asked. I think everybody should know about misinformation and disinformation. Why is it bad that it leaked? There's all sorts of reasons. I mean, firstly, it's quite possible that you could be in violation of some agreement. Like, who even knows what was going on at that time, agreement-wise? And also, it's just having your work that wasn't finished like that released. It's kind of a bummer because you're like, yeah, we didn't release that because it wasn't done. Why are you fucking with us? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for George, certainly. I wasn't there. In 2001, I was in the games industry, but like I wasn't, I was doing random things. No consent. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, dude, the last thing you need is for some placeholder sprite that somebody put in the game that was like a Coca-Cola billboard to get you sued by Coca-Cola or whatever. Like, who the fuck knows? Because when you release a game, you sort of do a final vet. But in the middle of development, like, so A, in the middle of development, who knows what team members are like doing? Because you've got a whole team of people doing stuff, right? B, the late 90s and the early 2000s was just kind of a different time. Like, people really don't understand. Like, game development was not a disciplined professional industry in the way that it is today. There are maybe a couple companies that were like that, like fucking LucasArts or something. But like, it just was a really different time. I almost don't know how to explain it. If someone leaked the witness 5 years in, you bet that would be pretty disheartening. Yeah. Yeah, doubly so because it's a puzzle game. Was it better then? The games industry was way more fun to be in the 90s and 2000s. It was much smaller. People were smarter. Games were not so horrible and unwieldy as they are today, although they were already, like, by 99 2000 they had become definitely horrible and unwieldy relative to what they had been before. It's just that wasn't the end of the train, right? I don't know, like, I think the industry was much more enjoyable back then than I do today, when it's full of a bunch of fucking posers. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. This is the course of, like, all industries, I think so. "21 years ago in a bad time." I also, dude, I totally get that, like, bad time from the past coming back and you don't need that. Yes, dude, I fully get that. Have I seen Peglin? No. Is it like Peggle combined with heroin? Games were made by gamers, not committee. Well, I mean, EA and 2K and those people were already making games by committee long before that time, but there still were a lot of games made by people who enjoyed games, yeah. Roguelike. A Peggle roguelike. Is it on Steam? Planet Crafter. Oh, we know about that game. Pengo. I used to play Pengo in the arcade. Why would I play this? Is this game good? A pachinko roguelike. Fight enemies by collecting special orbs and popping pegs. I mean, the problem, like, Peggle is very luck-based. And this is Peggle with worse graphics. And, like, a progression mechanic. And numbers. It has RPG numbers. It has a demo. My time is more valuable than the money that I spend to play the game. Will the game industry be fun again in the future? I don't know. I mean, I have fun sometimes, but not. The fun that I have is not in relation to the industry. I think the industry is kind of corrupt now. I mean, the part of the industry where I met people and stuff was all at conferences and whatever, and you know, conferences became a lot bigger as the industry grew, and they became about all these weird agendas that everybody has. Like, it's just not the same. Going to a smaller conference like Europe or something is in Eastern Europe, like the Croatia conference run by the Crow Team guys was cool. Anything that's not, and you know, I mean, the problem in the US is that politics has infected everything. So if you go to a large game conference, the way that things happen is dictated by politics, mostly left-wing politics, right? And so, like, I don't think that has a good effect on the quality of the actual, like, once you start putting other priorities like that in, it degrades the quality of the focus on the actual work, because the work, like how to program a video game well, is not political, right? How to design a game well is not political. How to manage a project is, in the abstract, not political, right? And when you start running your conference politically, you water down those things, right? Film industry is even worse. Yeah, I don't know anything about the film industry, so. Am I enthusiastic about games looking more realistic? No. Games have looked more realistic than last year for my entire career in video games. So them looking even more realistic is just a continuation of what we've had. And honestly, it's so fucking hard to make games now at the current level of realism that raising it even more is just like, it's not worth it to me until we solve some of the complexity problems in how do you make games. I mean, I assume you're saying this because of the UE5 demo. And also, the other thing that's been true for my entire history in the games industry is demos are always a lot more impressive than games, right? Because games are just harder to make. They have all these other constraints they have to meet. So the graphics, at any given time, whatever demo you can do is a number of years ahead of what any game using the same technology would be able to look like. That said, we always do eventually get there, right? It just takes a while. So like that UE5 demo that you saw, an actual game that looks that good, probably going to be a while. But we will get there for games. It's just going to take a while because that's just how it always has been. Yeah, what George said is exactly right. Like, only 10 studios can make games that look like that. GG's, right? I can't make games that look like that. At least I don't know how. And that's been but that is not a surprise, right? We've seen that happen. I mean, George has been in games since before me. I don't know how much before me, but definitely significantly before me. So he's seen this pattern play out even more. But like, this is just another step in what's been the trend the whole time. If anything, though, the difference is that graphics don't matter as much as they used to. Like it used to be, again, in the early to mid 2000s, having better graphics than the previous games was why people bought the game. And now it's cool to have cool graphics. but like, it's not really why the reason why people buy a game now. It just helps a little. And spending so much money on something that just helps a little, I don't know, man. You know? I mean, why not make a Spider-Verse game with an up-to-date toon shader? It'll cost you 1/10 the budget of making that UE5 game, right? And because it's Spider-Verse, everybody will buy it. You know what I'm saying? Do I hold hope for future OSs? Somebody's going to have to nut up and make them. You know, if I happen to fall into a bunch of money at some time, I would launch an OS project. Similar to this language project where it would start out smaller and get bigger. I think it wouldn't be as bottlenecked on me. Similar to the games, I think we would be able to have a bigger team do it, but you know, I just don't have that kind of money right now. But I would definitely do it if I did. Struggling to finish a unique quality game by yourself with no funding, any advice? I mean, do what you are able to do. If what you're trying to do right now is just way too hard for you to do it, then just step it down a little bit and do that. There's no shame in doing a smaller project, especially when you're learning. How much money do I think would be required for an OS? I don't know. Like, because obviously you could spend an infinite amount of money on an OS, but the question is, what do you do to get something to a point where it could start making money? And that depends on what are you trying to sell it to people for and why. I would be trying to sell this. I think we are just now at the beginning of a complete world of hurt in terms of everybody hacking everybody else's stuff. Like, people have no idea how hackable every computer is. Like, this desktop PC that I'm talking to you on, there's so many different computers on it. Actually, like the main CPU that you think of and then the GPU that you think of they're the two biggest CPUs, but like, there's so many CPUs in this PC case, and most of them have vulnerabilities, right? Well, all of them have vulnerabilities. And you just have no idea. You have no idea. Like, look up the thing that happened in 2020 or whatever. Was it called Qualpone or whatever? Where like a Qualcomm modem that was just being treated as a dumb device. You root that, a thing that the operating system on the device doesn't even think about as being a CPU. You root that, and then you can just browse memory, and the operating system can't stop you, right? Anyway, like, there's going to be so much of that because, again, it's not conventional war, so nation states can feel like they can do it to each other, and everything is so hackable. So you are not going to see the end to this anytime. In fact, we have barely seen the beginning of it. There are 2 orders of magnitude. This is my best guess. There are 2 orders of magnitude more hacks than we have seen, just in terms of the rate at which they could come in. So we could, if everybody in the world were doing a concerted effort toward hacking your shit, which they may be doing, people are probably training AIs on code right now to find vulnerabilities, right? You could see hacks at least 10 times the rate that we see them, possibly 100. That's just where it's at. All right. Like there's no way, like, dude, I updated my laptop, my Linux laptop to like Ubuntu 22.04, and I think it said it upgraded 17,000 packages. Right? That's 16,800 packages too many for anyone to know what the hell is going on. It's just insane. It is just insane. What industry would I recommend a fresh programming grad to get into? Whatever you are interested in. Anyway, so the reason I said all that was like, look, if you want a security conscious operating system, then it should be frickin' small, A, and B, it should be an exokernel. And I think an exokernel designed for modern CPUs could do quite well. And so that's what I would do. And then Casey and I have talked over some stuff that we think would make an operating system good. Do I think capitalism is making code worse? No. Dude, if anything, under communism, it would be even worse. So like, when kids blame capitalism for everything, I don't even know what they're talking about. Because like, they always don't know history, right? So like, oh, you think capitalism is wrecking the environment. What's the environment record of the Soviet Union? What's the environmental record of communist China? Oh, it's pretty bad. Maybe it's not capitalism then. It's wrecking the frickin' environment. It's just like, I'm tired of hearing it, right? Because it's so unthinking. If you want a tax code without so many loopholes, make the tax code simpler. Yeah. Like, dude, if we just had a flat tax, there wouldn't be loopholes. Criticism of capitalism is not saying that you want communism. No, but like, if you're claiming that A is the cause of something, and then there's this thing B that is the opposite of A that also had that thing, then the statement that A caused the thing is vacuous. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's an invalid criticism. It's a completely nonsense criticism that contains no information except that the speaker doesn't know what they're talking about. It's because capitalism moved their industry into China. No, I'm talking about communist China. I'm talking about, 1950s, 1960s China. Look at the environmental record of China in the 50s and 60s. Look at the environmental record of Russia during the whole Soviet time. It's nutballs. Surface level internet comments and valueless. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it. No, when I say A is the opposite of B, I mean A, idealized laissez-faire capitalism, right? And B, completely centrally controlled economy. All right? Those things are opposite in some dimension, right? There's other ways that you could oppose them to other things, but that's the point, right? And if you're claiming one of them is the cause of something, but then the other thing also caused that thing, it's just nonsense. It's like that person is just talking nonsense. If I were forced to move out of the U.S., which country would I pick? It's hard to say. Singapore comes to mind. Singapore is not a freedom state, though. But I mean, a lot of places in Asia are still military dictatorships. Like Thailand is chill to hang out in and fun, but it's also a military dictatorship, which could go bad, right? Czech Republic, maybe. Like the thing about Eastern Europe is a lot of those countries are modern enough, like they're joining Europe, right? And they're modern countries and are nice places to live, but they haven't totally digested the weird US left-wing political pill like all of Western Europe has, right? Like most of the Western European countries are just going down the same crazy balls thing that the US is going down, and it's not good. And so I wouldn't really want to move to any of those. But like, and I don't know, you know, I haven't spent that much time in like Croatia or Estonia or Poland or anything. So maybe they're just as crazy balls in a different direction, but it would at least be different. Japan is nice if you have money. I mean, the thing about Japan is you can only go so far if you're not Japanese, which I'm not. I'm not going to fool anyone into thinking I'm Japanese, so it's a problem. Sweden, Italy, or Spain seem nice. Nah, I mean, I've been around Sweden enough to know it's got a lot of problems. Italy, I've never been to. Spain, I've been to, but it's not totally my bag. Go hang out with Lucas Pope. I did. I had lunch with Lucas Pope last time I was in Kyoto. You're from Eastern Europe. People are laughing at genders, but recently you see a pink-haired guy. Yeah, I mean, it's the trend right now, right? So, what do you want? Did I hang with Notch in LA? No, Notch doesn't like me. Do I know why he doesn't? He thinks The Witness is pretentious and dumb, and then I argued with him about some things, and he blocked me. So, it is what it is. True facts. Me and Notch seemed like we'd get along. I mean, we were in Ibiza at the same time, and I said, hey man, do you want to hang out? And he just didn't reply, so I guess that's a no. That was before The Witness came out, and he decided it was really annoying. Those aren't his exact words. But suffice to say, he didn't like the game. And had bad things to say about it. I talk shit about GC all the time. No, but he knows GC is bad. Like, dude, he wrote Minecraft passing X, Y, and Z coordinates to functions as separate parameters all through the code because if you put them in a vector 3, that creates garbage and fucks up performance. So literally the whole program was like X, comma, Y, comma, Z in every function. And then when Microsoft took it over, they thought that wasn't clean code and they changed it and performance plummeted. Yeah, what's the travel situation in like Eastern Europe right now? Like if I want to go to Czech Republic, can I just go there and hang out now? Or is it all COVID still? Can I like go to Croatia? Girlfriend is going to Croatia in 9 days. Well, why is she not going with you, man? I don't know what's going on there. She had to get a third vax for it? Okay, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Go to Croatia and hang with the Serious Sam people. Yeah, it'd be cool to see what they're doing these days. Well, everybody, I think it's time for me to deliver value to bedtime. Right? I think that's where we are at tonight. If I thought about AR video games, I don't really know what an AR game would be. All right, thanks everybody. Sorry you're having a bad day, George. It's a bummer. See y'all later on.